To introduce our first inductee is podcast host and founder of the Women's Meditation Network, Krimitsos.
Hello and good evening. There are a lot of challenges that come along with being married to a genius. The sleepless nights as their ideas are just swimming in their brain. The very creative and careful cash flow management as they charge ahead with all of those ideas and dreams. The unending but very open-minded listening as they talk about their ideas over and over and over again. And of course, the unwavering loyalty and support and belief in them and in all their ideas and dreams. Did I get that right, Chris? Is that what it's like being married to me, right? All joking aside, my husband, Chris Krimitsos, is a genius. Because over 11 years ago, he brought his beautiful, magical gifts of community building to the podcast community in a way that has truly impacted thousands of podcasters. And honestly, millions of people, if we're including all of the listeners of those with podcasts who have either started podcasts because of Podfest or their podcasts have grown because of podcasts. Now, Chris has no problem being on stage, but he always seems to naturally sidestep the spotlight so that he could give that light to anyone else that he believes deserves it. And the thing about Chris is he believes everyone deserves the spotlight. I know I am not alone in this room when I tell you that Chris is our own personal hype man, our biggest cheerleader, and oftentimes, very oftentimes, our own personal connection relationship concierge, right? So I am just overflowing with love and with gratitude that tonight Chris gets to be in the spotlight, and he gets to be recognized for the massive waves that he has been a part of rippling through the podcasting community. All started with one single drop that is his magic sauce, love. So tonight, Chris Krimitsos, agape mu, on behalf of the entire podcasting community, we thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. I just have a couple of notes from my journey in podcasting. So the first time I knew about podcasting, but the first time the bug bit me, I was doing a meetup at a Mimi's Cafe. I spent all month promoting it. We had 11 people there. I was so excited that they showed up. And my friend Steve Cherubino, he had a show called Android App Addicts. And he was teaching about podcasting. He also had a course that he sold about podcasting. I think, John, you bought that course. He actually retired the course because he was teaching it too early and no one was buying it back then. But I remember he offered at a steep discount, and of 11 people, 13 people bought. So people's spouses also bought the course that weren't there. It was incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And after the meeting, I said to Steve, how many people listen to your podcast? Because he goes, I talk about Android apps. He goes, 4,000. I go, like 4,000 what? He goes, 4,000 people. I go, how often do you do it? He goes, once a week. And I go, what else do you talk about? He goes, nothing, Android apps. That's what we talk about. And I was like stunned. So I was just like, I'm calculating numbers. Cause I'm like, I just spent all month, 11 people show up here at the meeting. This guy goes home, he's got 4,000 people. And he goes, I know, I'm trying to get my numbers up. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Because he saw me like just trying to, I said, what you're doing is amazing. I go, and you're helping us. So I said to him, do you mind if I take you around so we could teach podcasting? So what I would do at the time, because I didn't know much, I just knew if I love something, I'm off to the races. So I would pick up Steve, have him bring in his microphone, his speaker, his computer, and I said, we're going to go for a ride. He's like, all right. And then I'd take him, and there'd be like 100 people waiting for him to explain what podcasting is. It's really funny. He'd be like, where'd you get these people? I go, don't worry about it. Just tell them about podcasts. It's the greatest thing. So then what happened was we helped so many people get started, my phone would ring off the hook with like technical support, which I'm not the best guy for technical support. And I said, well, why don't we get a meeting together so once a month we could all get together. And my good friend Lee Silverstein, who has the We Have Cancer podcast, says, I'd like to host your first meeting. At the time, he was teaching at the International Academy of Design. And he gave us our first place to meet. That's where, in the meeting, he was inspired to start the We Have Cancer podcast. As Podfest grew from 100 people, we were in Tampa, to 181 people, my friend Neil Gilarte, who's here in the first row, said, Chris, we have to take this. By the way, I love Tampa. He goes, we got to take it to another city. I go, why? He goes, because this could bring a lot of people, and if you take it to Orlando or Vegas, they're convention towns, it's easier for people to come to the event because there's other things for them to do. People have spouses, families, and it'll grow. And I said, Neil, I can't afford a convention center hotel. I don't know if you know how much it costs to do these events. And Neil said, my sister manages a hotel, Carrie Broyal. They're going to set up a meeting, and they want to help you. I had a friend who was a lawyer that always said, you don't have to say yes, but it's always good to take every meeting and have the decision to say yes or no. So I took the meeting, and the salesperson said to me, what are you paying in Tampa? And I was embarrassed to say because it was like nothing. But I said what we paid, and she said, we could do that. I'm like, excuse me? She goes, we could do that. And I sat there stunned, and as I'm thinking, she dropped the price. And I said, what'd you say? She goes, we'll do less. We'll go less. So then I was thinking about it. I was like, this is crazy, and she dropped the price again. So I said, okay, let me think about it. And I called Neil on the way home. I go, dude, they kept dropping the price. What the hell did your sister say to the salesperson? He goes, well, my sister's been there 20 years. She services all the banquets. She told the salesperson she'll never service another one of her banquets if she doesn't get me a thing at the hotel. To which I said, Neil, why would your sister do that for me? And Neil said, well, when I moved to Tampa and I don't know anybody, you helped me build my video business. My family owes you one, and this is how we're paying you back. Which was very profound. Having an event has been challenging. It's not an easy business to be in, and we've had lots of ups and downs. In 2020, we had our event 7 days before the lockdowns, so it was an amazing high, but then we all went home, and we didn't know what to do, right? We're like, when are we going to get back out? Our community, I was talking to my friend Gabe Aloisi of the Let's Play Through YouTube channel, and I said, I don't know what to do. Like, I was paralyzed by fear. And he said, well, you do events. I said, I know, but we just finished this big hotel. What do I do next? He goes, just do it virtually. I go, but how do we do it as well as we do it in person? It's very difficult. He goes, you'll figure it out. You always do. And I said, okay. So I did a small virtual event. It was fun. And then he said to me, why don't you think bigger? You always think bigger. And he challenged me to think bigger. And what we did was we told the community our vision to bring the world together through a Podfest Global. And we crowdfunded that, and we raised 200 or 300% of goal. It was amazing. And we did the first ever Pod Global, and we had thousands of people from all over the world. And because we were crowdfunding it, we were able to give tickets away to people in different countries all over the world. We had 8 languages taught via Zoom through the Huva app. It was incredible. That gave us our first Guinness World Record, and then we did it again and broke the first one the second year, and it was an amazing journey. Coming out of COVID, though, was very difficult, and it was difficult to manage with hotels and the different things. And I just want to tell you that this has been a crazy journey. I'm very fortunate to have a very supportive wife that has been my rock through the whole ups and downs of building products. Thank you. And I'm grateful to my in-laws and my daughter Sedona and Savannah for being here. I love them dearly. Since then, we've been able to expand to Asia. Last year, we did the first ever Podfest Asia. Thank you, Aya and Jim and Ron for Pod Machine. And we were in Colombia earlier, so we've added some amazing partners in Nick Pavlidis and Glenn Vo, and the vision for us is to make this community, it's already global, but to meet everybody where they're at and put our arms around them. So all I could tell you is podcasting, for me, has given me the ride of a lifetime. Thank you for always supporting me. Thank you for the closest friends that were there for me in the hardest of times, keeping me positive to focus on what was important. And thank you for the most amazing memories. And we're going to make more, and Podfest is going to obviously grow much bigger. But thank you guys. Thank you for this honor. I appreciate it.